Hey, how's it going? Today we're looking at the Union team's new Ascension skills. Take a look at all three of these in some detail. So it's been a while since I took these guys off the shelf. They're not running the right gear, so just ignore their gear. We just want to take a look at the unique Ascension skills these guys are getting. Augustus is called the Wall of Hassle, which is going to function with his Hassle skill. If we can just do a quick recap of Hassle. So you see this thing has a 4-turn cooldown, pretty long. It's a support where he gives himself 2 stacks of rage. Remember, if he gets 6 stacks of rage, he can act again. And a physical shield of 60% physical and magic attack and damage reduction 2. When he is injured, he's going to gain 1 stack of rage and damage up 2. Now, if you take a look at the Wall of Hassle, at level 1, it's going to increase the shield value provided by Hassle by 20%. So it's going to be 80% of his physical and magical shields and decrease the cooldown by 1 turn. You can reduce the cooldown to 3 turns now. In level 2, you're going to increase the shield value to, I think it's 90%. Physical magical shields, some big boy shields, and decrease the cooldown by 1 turn. And after casting the skill, he gains something called Entangling Hassle for 2 turns. So what is Entangling Hassle? It's another buff he's going to be getting, which increases his damage by 20%. After taking damage, if he's injured, he's going to recover HP equal to 60% of his physical and magical attack. That's a big regen that he's going to be getting there. I'm imagining he can just, stay topped up with HP, become unkillable, and this can be triggered 1 time per round. And this is going to make him very tanky, a lot more damage there. He's also going to get damage up 2, so this is in addition to the damage up 2. Then if you can get him to level 3, I haven't gotten these guys to level 3, the resources are just too much. But you're going to increase that shield value provided by 40%. So that's what, 100% physical and magical attack shields. Decrease the cooldown of Hassle by 2 turns, so every 2 turns you can use Hassle. And after casting the skill, you gain Entangling Hassle for 2 turns. The skill in Hassle no longer requires injured. Level 3 is very big for him because you can sustain this Hassle. You can constantly cast Hassle every 2 turns, which means you're gaining rage. And he's able to act a lot more when he has this. We've reduced that to 2 turns. And we've removed the condition, the when condition, when Augustus is injured. He's always going to gain an additional stack of rage. So he's always going to gain 3 stacks of rage. And he's going to gain damage up 2. Which will increase his damage by 20%. That's in addition to the 20% increase he's going to get from Entangling Hassle. So in total, he's going to increase his damage by 40%. He's gonna gain shields of 100% of his physical and his magical attack. He's gonna also have regen of 60% of his physical attack and his magical attack. So it's a lot more buffs than I thought initially when looking closely at these skills. I think if you want to make him even more tanky, more regen, maybe try the Gibbous Moon. At the end of his turn, he recovers 20% HP if he's injured. And when he's injured, he's going to increase the healing 50% and 30% when he's dying. Alright, so we'll take a look at this in action soon. And now for Simona. Simona has Swear on Ice. So this thing decreases the cooldown of Ice Made Armor, her big armor support skill, by 2 turns. It has a very big cooldown, so that's been reduced. When on Frosty Tiles, you increase damage by 15% and shield value provided by 15%. At level 2, you can decrease the cooldown of Ice Made Armor by 2 turns. You can increase damage 30% when on Frosty Tiles, shield value by 25% after an active magical attack. Or triggering an Ice Shard, additionally inflicts minor frostbite 1 time for 1 turn. That's going to be 15% of physical and magic attack as life loss. And then if you get this up to level 3, you decrease Ice Made Armor cooldown by 3 turns. Increase damage, 30% stays the same, that stays the same. But then you're going to apply Frostbite for 1 turn. Frostbite's 50% of magic and physical attack, which is nice. You can get multiple enemies if you're using the Winter's Doomsday, and then they're all going to get the Frostbite. I mostly like the 3-turn cooldown in Ice Made Armor, so now Simona is more of a support unit, and this skill becomes much more valuable. So you can reduce the cooldown of this thing to just 1 turn, and she can spam these shields on a lot of allies, like your whole team basically, and she's going to be giving everybody these shields. Remember, it gives it to them, to the allies within 3 tiles to the left and right of the tile occupied by Simona. So on both of her sides, everyone's getting these armor of ice shields. And regen 1-2 turns. If she already has armor of ice, you decrease the energy consumption by 1 point. We can even reduce that energy to one cost, which is 1-1 there. Armor of ice, pretty cool. You gain physical shields of 60% of her magic attack, immunity to frost style effects. After being hit by a melee attack, you inflict move down 1 on the attack for 2 turns, and regen 10% HP. So everyone's getting these buffs. Remember also, she has a condition here: when on frosty tiles, she wants to be on frosty tiles to increase damage, and the shield value provided by an extra 25%, so she can give 85% shields. Now, how do we have her on frost tiles? Well, I'm using the ice assault because it's an instant, so I can put her on ice tiles before she even casts that skill there. There could be other ways of creating ice tiles as well. I used to run this build, I used to run the Desire for Temperance, but this physical shield's been way outdated. We have a better physical shield tarot now. I have now Guide of the Stars, which is much better for shields. So with this thing we can increase the shield value granted by 8%. Additionally, increase shield value granted by another 8%, and you can increase the shield value received by 8% as well. That's much better now for Simona as a shield support unit, especially for the Union team who love shields. And next up we have Gloria. So Gloria over here has the Holy Lands Verdict. So increase skill multiplier of Lance of Longinus to 100%. Used to be 80%, now it's gone up to 100%. You increase crit and crit damage to unharmed enemies by 20%. Additionally grants damage 1 to the Union allies within flag waving or flag aura range. If she's waving the flag in her hand, then she has the flag aura for allies around her, boosting their stats a little bit. If she throws the flag into the ground, then that flag just lays in the ground and creates a global aura for all allies, boosting their stats again, but by a little bit more. So either of those buffs, if she has that, she can give the Union allies damage up 1. At level 2, increase that damage multiplier up to 115%, crit and crit damage to unharmed enemies 35%. After casting the skill, the character gains a physical shield equal to 30% HP. Additionally, so there you get, she gives herself a 30% HP. 30% is by intention, 30% of HP is the amount required for a lot of effects from like Camelot and Yesarine. They give you extra bonuses, so that's not some random number there. At level 3, you can increase the damage multiplier of Longinus to 130%, crit and crit damage to unharmed enemies to 50%. Then she's going to give damage up 2 to the Union allies. So I think Gloria is actually a fantastic auto unit. I'm actually running her again now. I've taken her off the shelf. I think she's great because she's got this burst damage to unharmed enemies. She comes flying out, throwing the flag, laying that flag down with the high speed, good for auto, buffing your allies with that flag, with her aura, boosting the Union team also some more now, also helping Union teams increase their damage by 12%. But most of all, I love Gloria for the fact that she's going to be giving you an extra 1 into movement to allies around her at the beginning of the battle, so everyone comes out flying quickly in auto. So for that move 1, I like to run Gloria in auto. Alright, so we have the whole Union team here now. You have your king, your queen, your knights, bishops and castles, if you will. The thing about Gloria, if you notice the beginning of the battle, that aura she gives to allies around her, they'll be flashing so you can see which units gain that aura. She's holding the flag. Everybody now has an extra movement 4 tiles, and that allows us all to move out nice and quick. So I think Simona's shields are higher because of the tarot she's running now. About 40% shields there. So for Simona, we want to get her on ice tiles, and that's why we use this instant skill just to create some ice tiles. And then she can cast these shields. You can see you can get your whole team easily, including herself. She'll be giving shield out as well. Right, so you have Gloria now. Very fast units, Simona and Gloria. And you can see the big shields that Simona has been dishing out to our units. Looks like a small shield there on Camelot, but it's just because Camelot is a titan in terms of his HP. 16,000 HP pool there versus 7,000 on Gloria and 9,000 on August, for example. Here's that flag aura Gloria is giving, increasing attack and defense for allies in 3,000, 12%. If you throw the flag in the ground, I think that increases to 15%. There's the move up she's giving. Armor of Ice now we've gotten from Simona for 2 turns. Big shield we've got there now. We can also inflict move down on the enemies. We're immune to frosty tiles, and we have regen 1. From Camelot you can get yourself a nice increase in your attack 10%. Increasing your damage also by 10%. You're getting extra damage because you have the shields, 30% shields. Attack 10 again there from Camelot, and defense 20. And Gloria gives us an extra 12% in damage. Reduced strike back damage 24%. We've got now a complete Union team now. Only thing missing now would be Clara for magical shields maybe. Or you could even have Karis provide magical shields. Right, so for Holy Lands, after we cast the skill, after casting the skill, she's going to gain the physical shields 30% there, and we're going to provide damage 1 to Union allies. We also increase the damage of this Lance of Longinus, and it does nice damage on auto. You know, you come out first because she's so fast, and you can hit these enemies who are unharmed, so they're taking that extra damage. Level 2, so 115% extra crit damage as well there. And just take a note at her shields now, around about there, so it should be increasing again. And there you can see her shields have increased now to 100%. She's maxed out her shields. Thing about Union units, especially August and Camelot, the more you increase their HP, the more the shield value. You can increase the cap of your shield value. The Gloria is already topped up there. Alright, next is August. So August has the new hassle now. New and improved hassle. Remember, we can increase again shield value provided by hassle 30%, decrease its cooldown 1 turn. These are all level 2 effects. I don't have level 3 for these units. After casting the skill, we're also going to gain Entangling Hassle, increase our damage, and we have this powerful regen there when he's injured, 60% physical and magic attack. So yeah, August will be able to do a lot more actions now. He's getting closer to big bro Camelot. You can just go get yourself some rage stacks with Hassle. Straight into his second action there. He's maxed shields already. And then at level 2, we've reduced the cooldown to 3 turns, but we can reduce that to 2 turns if you get him to level 3. It's not hard to get them to level 3. I just have too many units I'm pushing to level 3 now. And then you already start stacking his rage, and he can quickly go into more rage stacks much quicker because hassle will be up, and then you'll get 3 more rage stacks on the second turn. So already he's up to 2 there. We'll go up to 3 at this turn. And the next turn we can activate Rage maybe again. He's increased his damage by 20% also. But most important I think is that regen. Yeah, and so the Union team is kind of unkillable. Again, we could reduce that cooldown to just 1 turn. It could have been up again, and we could have cast magical shields again with Simona, making your team unkillable basically. August's second turn now, and he has what, 5 stacks of rage already on the second turn, so another action he's going to be able to gain now. And you can cycle much easier into more actions. Not sure exactly how many more actions you'll be able to get if you have that hassle reduced down some even more turns. But look at this, it's incredible. August is back. This is chapter 16, stage 2. And August is at 2 stacks of rage. This is not even level 3. We could have hassle up again. and then get another 3 stacks, so he gets extra action almost every turn, I think. Been a while since looking at August, but yeah, he's kind of a powerful guy. Rage outburst 3, 70% of physical and magical attack, gains armor piercing before attacking. Forgot that he has armor piercing. Even rage increases attack by 3% for each stack. He's just boosted by all of these leadership auras as well. 8,400 attack at the moment. Wow, it's even higher than Camelot's at the moment. All that rage stacks that he has now. Isarine is 5,000. Simona is close to 6,000 magic attack. Backtrack, just check Gloria. Gloria has a high attack, 6,500. So yeah, wow. Camelot, Augustus beast. Just want to do a quick benchmark here. I'm going to run these 3 guys on auto, see how they perform on this stage. And then we compare them to Camelot and Isarine. Okay, wow, that was good. That was really good. I think that was by turn 3 or 4 they finished the stage. Now we'll compare them to some of the more newer units here. Yeah, so it took a bit longer with these guys. It's only two units there, so it's a bit unfair to compare them. And Isarine's just applying DOT. She's not doing active attacks really. Not really far apart, you know, maybe they're even there, just in terms of performance there, but I'm very impressed. Why don't we do August versus Camelot comparison in this mission here? Let's first go with August. Remember, he's only level 2 ascension skill, so he could actually go quite higher. I'm also intrigued to see how he's going to be regenning as well. Once per turn he can do a big regen. We're also running Gibbous Moon for extra regen. Thing about Camelot is immune to knockbacks. He has that advantage over most units. Unfortunately, August went down there. I think if he was level 3, he would have been able to survive there and regen up very quickly. That was at round 3 he went down there. So August made it to round 3. Let's just see if we can do something different here. Okay, so the regen is not as powerful as I thought. I thought he could maybe be unbeatable, but... So Entangling Hassle gives us that big 60% regen there, but he has to be injured. So he wasn't injured. He takes one big hit, you know, and then he didn't even get to activate it. Because technically he wasn't injured, he was healthy. See, he goes straight to the dying state, and then the next attack, he couldn't survive the next attack, so he couldn't even activate the regen, unfortunately. Yeah, so I don't think he's gonna beat Camelot, but I'm gonna try this again when I get him to level 3. Also, another thing to note is that the reason August was so powerful before was all those buffs he was getting. He was getting basically three leadership auras from Gloria, Camelot, and Ysserine were all boosting his stats. So you can see the multi-layered buffs you can have with all these units. Yeah, so I'll just end this here. So just to finish off, I'll just leave all the units' stats if you're interested in seeing what they were running.